What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. So, from Vanderpump Rules to their show now, The Valley, Brittany Cartwright has officially filed for divorce from Jax Taylor after 5 years of marriage. And you hate to see families break up, right? Because look at their little son. He is so adorable. But at the same time, Jax has been an original cast member on Vanderpump Rules. I remember way back when he was dating Stacey Schroeder. I used to watch that show when it first came out. I don't watch it anymore. I don't have the time. But Jax was a mess and a half even back then. And I remember when Brittany came on the show, she was this sweet Southern girl. Um, and she really, you could tell like she really loved him and she really tried to put up with a lot of his mess. He's a mess and a half. Now, to his credit, he did go into treatment. He checked himself into a mental health facility. So I hope that he does, receive the therapies and the counseling that he needs. And you hate to see families break up because look at their son, the little cutie patootie sitting there. But I do know that Brittany does have a very strong, supportive family. I think she's from Kentucky. I remember it was either like the episode or they were doing like a spinoff, but they went to go visit her family. I think this was right before they got married. Maybe they were engaged. But I remember, her family just kind of testing the waters and asking him concerning questions as they should, and just seeing if he would treat her right, because he did not treat any of his past, girlfriends or relationships, the women on the show. He didn't treat them very well at all. And so when Brittany came on, again, you could just tell that she was not the typical LA type that worked at Pump, or Lisa, her restaurant, Vanderpump. But yeah, just it's sad. Let me go ahead and get into this article because Brittany, you could tell. I mean, I feel like if she would have just settled down with a nice man, Southern, gentleman around the area where she was from, she's that like small town girl with a heart of gold. Um, Court documents filed in Los Angeles, obtained by Page Six, show that the Valley star, who's 35, filed for a dissolution of her marriage with a minor child, as the exes share a 3-year-old son, Cruz. She cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split, and the date of separation is January 24th, 2024, a day before her birthday. Oh, that's well. Listen, I'm sure she was probably celebrating what clink clink my divorce. How about that? I don't know. I don't know. It's late, y'all. I'm getting silly, but that's probably why she did it because she wanted to go out and celebrate. Per the paperwork, it says Cartwright asked the judge to waive spousal support for her and Taylor, whose real name is Jason Kikuchi. Okay, if my name was that, I would probably change it to Jax Taylor too. Parents be naming their kids just anything. I'm telling you. Um, she is also seeking legal and physical custody of their toddler, with her ex getting visitation rights. And you know what? I feel like that's a really protective move on her part. So good for Brittany. Regarding which rights she would like for her assets, Cartwright is seeking to keep all properties she acquired by either gift, inheritance before marriage, or after the date of separation. The documents also note, however, that the specific nature of the assets and the debts in the case have not been ascertained at this time. Okay, their quasi community assets will also be determined at a later date. Yeah, Brittany and Jax, they came up together. I remember when Jax first began Vanderpump Rules as a bartender, but now I think he owns his own bar. I know Brittany, she had a $2 million brand sponsorship with Weight Watchers. And so they got some assets, definitely. They need to work on splitting. I wonder if they had a prenup. I don't think it says that. Cartwright and Taylor, who's 45. Oh, I didn't know he was that old. Jax, if you don't get your middle aged life together, they have many joint businesses. Oh, okay. Aside from both appearing on The Valley, they also opened up a bar together called Jax's Studio City, and they have a podcast together titled When Reality Hits. Okay. So Cartwright first announced their separation in February after nearly 5 years of marriage. She says, yes, marriages in general are very hard, and I've had a particularly rough year this past year, she said via their podcast. At the time, she says, Jax and I are taking time apart, and I made the decision to move into another home to take some space for the sake of my mental health. Absolutely. I can't even imagine what Jax put that girl through mentally. Um, I'm so glad that she took the time, and the distance and the space that she needed. And she had the resources, that she could move to another house easily. But she needs to protect her own, sanity, her own mental health, and that of her child. Fans speculated at the time whether the relationship drama was meant to drive ratings for The Valley, which was about to start airing, though the former couple's representative immediately shut that down. Cartwright then shared on the show's season finale what actually led to the split. She says he was going to the bar and stuff, coming home and having these horrible hangovers that would make him mean as an effing snake. Wow. She told her co stars during that episode. She says, finally, he's already been screaming at me for hours. Girl, not hours. You got one time to raise your voice at me. I don't play. No, no, not hours. She says I packed me and my meet and cruise up, and we got the heck up out the house. The Bravo star added, absolutely. Wow, that's horrible. My heart goes out to her, but I'm glad that she's, divorcing him and moving forward. She says, I just kind of hit this point where I started noticing everything that he did to me. Good. I'm glad that she had that wake up call. Taylor admitted to dealing with serious mental health and anger issues, prompting him to enter a mental health facility for treatment last month. Jax has always been candid about his mental health struggles, especially during the past few months on his podcast. He has made the decision to seek inpatient treatment, his representative previously told Page Six. This is a particularly sensitive time for him and his family. They ask for privacy and respect until he is ready to speak more on the matter. While Jax has been getting help, filming season 2 of The Valley has been underway. Meanwhile, Cartwright has been hanging with the Bachelorette alum Tanner Courtad, although their status is unclear. Y'all are so messy, Page Six. Just because she's hanging out with that girl. Messy. Cartwright and Taylor's own relationship was on display very early when they started dating in 2015. They first appeared together on Vanderpump Rules, and prior to tying the knot, they had a cheating scandal that almost tore them apart. I forgot about that. Yeah, he cheated on everybody, including his wife. That's a mess. Not screaming at her for hours, though. Girl, wow. During season 6 of the hit series, Taylor was accused of being unfaithful with ex co-star Faith Stowers. Oh, so it was Faith. I know it was somebody. I just didn't know who he cheated with. So maybe that's why that's I don't know. Anyway, however, Cartwright ultimately forgave him, and the two got married at a castle in Kentucky. Okay, yep, I knew that's where she was from. The former's home state in June 2019, and they welcomed Cruz in April of 2021. The reality star's rep declined to comment on the divorce filing. Well, listen, I'm glad that she got up out of there. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, don't let anybody scream at you for hours. Um, I wouldn't take that from anybody. I don't care who you are. I've had to have, even have those discussions with my mother. My father's passed, but I even told him when I was 15 years old, you ain't about to talk to me crazy. I don't care who you are, mom, dad, sister, brother. No, no, ma'am, no ham, no. You have to establish those boundaries early and quickly. People will try you, they will test you. Like I said, Brittany, she was as sweet as, candy, but you can't be a run over, a pushover. And Jax was a mess and a half. One thing I can say about Stassi is, she checked him and she let him know I'm not the one to play with. I think she dumped him, if I'm not mistaken. I'm glad he's getting the help that he needs because he clearly needs it to scream at anybody for hours. Um, that's a waste of time, oxygen, energy, and it's abusive. Like, no, absolutely not. I'm glad that she's, taking the time to, or just she's filing for divorce, like she's over it, and taking the time to protect her child and her own mental health, her sanity. Because if you let people, they can get you to a point in a place where they break you down mentally, and they try to break your spirit to where you're just a shell of your former self. I was watching 90 Day Fiance with Michael and Angela, and she was so abusive to him. I stopped watching, but I've heard that he has filed for divorce. I think they're divorced, and he's moved on with another young woman and has a baby on the way. And Angela's still bitter and yelling and screaming. And people like that, you just have to pray for them and leave them where they are. If they want to do the work, like Jax is doing, I'll credit him that. That's great. If not, then you have to do what's best for you. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you in the next one. Take care, aces. Bye.